Good evening, guys. Greetings from my studio. Reaching you out there. Greetings to you all. Um, I begin with a word of apology. I late because of poor connections. Those of you who were keen yesterday, if you watched the broadcast of yesterday, the towards the end there was a problem with the connection, and so it went off towards the end, the last 2 3 minutes towards the end, there was a problem with the connection, and I've been struggling with connection the whole day. I tried to be there at the stipulated time, but I could not make it. So that is exactly why I'm coming now. I'm sorry for coming up at this time, but what we are saying is that with TBC, we can make a difference. If this TBC, if we had the 1 billion members in this community, will not depend on these people for connections, left, right, center. We will operate within our reach. If why not with TBC connection, so that we reach out to you with TBC? We are completely TBC. That is exactly what we have there. For our broadcast today, we are doing the last part of what it means, what it takes to begin your journey with TBC. And let me just share with you my screen. Um, I begin by talking about the quotes of the day. The quote of the day is very important. Let us begin with that. You can see from there the quote of the day. That is from Steve Maraboli. Steve Maraboli. These quotes are very important because they are incentives, they motivate us, they help us understand what other people have said and what other people think. Steve Maraboli is saying that the universe does not give you what you ask for with your thoughts, it gives you what you demand with your actions. That is Steve Maraboli for you. The universe does not give you what you demand with your thoughts, but it gives you what you demand with your actions. Very important. This is to tell us that we have to transcend the level of thinking to the level of acting. We have to go beyond. This is very important for starters. That is exactly why I chose the quote. It's so important for starters. Remember, we are talking about the how we begin our journey. And basically, from these words of Steve, it is clear that we need to keep our thoughts aside. We need to translate our thoughts into actions. Why I say so is because several people listen to the broadcasts, watch the broadcasts, follow the stories of on TBC, on crypto, and they end up only at the level of thinking. They end up only at the level of wishful thoughts. They end up only at the level of, those wishful thoughts. How I wish I will begin. I will start. In TBC, there is no waste of time. I said last time that the train has taken off. We are on the move. And those of you who are coming now, you should be very lucky because, in fact, you are very lucky. Because for those who started, the pioneer members, I am not one of them, but they share their testimony of how they have gone the journey throughout these 2 years, almost to 3 years. They have journeyed, they have been patient, but you are coming at a time when TBC is blossoming. You are coming at a time when TBC is boom, it is exploding. And the explosion of TBC is supposed to be for your good. So, like Steve is saying, please go beyond your thoughts. Like Steve is saying, keep away your fears, keep away your doubts, keep away your wishes. Translate your wishes into actions. Of course, they say that if wishes were horses, even beggars like us will ride on. Yeah. So translate your wishes. Many people have listened to, many people have watched, and they keep remaining at the level of wishing. Say, it's nice. I will begin. I will. Don't only be willing to just begin immediately. That is exactly what we are saying, because the universe, it will not give you what you think only when you are only with your thoughts. You need to demand by action. And what is the action? Jump onto the train, jump onto the moving train, because we are at a high speed and we are on our way. We are on our way. So that is exactly what we have for the quotes of that's exactly what we have for the quote of the day from Steve Maraboli, that we must be on the move, that we must act, that we must begin. And how do we begin? From our last broadcast, we said, get your money, no matter how small it is, and send. We begin the process. We begin the journey. But now, I would like us today to look at a few things. Let me share with you the schedule for the day. Let me share with you the schedule for the day. Um, what do we have here for today? Just a few things, not many, of course. This is exactly what we have for today. How to start your journey with TBC part 3. And today we'll look at, we'll analyze the send button test. Last time we went through the process of beginning, how you pay your back office fee, how you create your wallet. We have done all that. Now, today, we want to look at the test, send button test. We want to analyze it. After that, we'll talk about the TBC agreement. It's an agreement, and then we'll hint, we'll only give highlights on what we mean by alignment. By alignment here, alignment is going to be the gateway to our next broadcast, which is going to be how to grow your TBC. So we are beginning, but alignment will be the link, and then we'll hint ourselves about the updates about the forthcoming mega seminar, the second of its kind, in the month of September. So we begin straight away the analysis of the send button test. I remember when I was talking with one TBCian, and we're cracking jokes, and she told me that the send TBC is becoming too serious now, that to begin, you have to write a concours. you have to write you have to write a concours. You have to answer some questions. So when you get to your back office, where we are now, you go to the send button test. Here we have the send button test. But before we go to the send button test, let me just remind you and give you updates of how we are growing in the TBC community. Look at where we are today. We are 3,300,000 and then 145 people. Yesterday, when I was doing the broadcast, we were not up to 300,000, 3.3 million. We were 3,299,000 and then 950 something. So between yesterday and today, we have had more than 70 members. That's exactly why I'll go back to what Steve is saying, Steve Maraboli. Please do not end up only with thoughts. Begin straight away, because there is no time. The community is growing, you can see for yourself. Now we go to analyze our send button test. Send button test. What do we mean by send button, first of all? Send button is exactly what you have. Send button is what you have on your wallet. It is the button which the admin and his team enables you to open after you have paid your back office fee, and then you answer these questions. Then you begin your account. You have put your money in your wallet. You begin to multiply, it is growing. Then you have what they call a send button. That send button means you can now sell your coin to some other person. So you have the button to send your coin to another person's account and then get money cash. That is the meaning of send button. But for you to have that send button open, even after paying your back office fee, you need to go through the send button test so that we are sure that you know what you are going in for. We are sure that you know what we are going in for and what it entails. So you can see here, there are 10 questions, by the way. It is so serious. There are 10 good questions for the send button test that we are going to analyze gradually in the course of this broadcast. The very first of these 10 questions is this. You can see for yourself. The very first of the 10 questions. The question is um, what determines the value of your coin, of our coin? This is a very important question. It has been mentioned in the course of all the other broadcasts I have made. You see, when we are talking here about the coin, the TBC, and so we are asking the question, what is it that determines the value of this coin? What is it? And we said already that TBC is a private crypto, it's not a public crypto. Being a private crypto, its value is not determined by market factors. That must remain very clear in any starter, in the mind of every starter. If you are a starter, you must know that the value of your coin, the value of our coin, is not determined by any market factor, public market factor. The value is determined by the people, the community, the men and women behind the coin. And so we can see here from the two, from this is a question that I've given options. It's a multiple choice test. So you can do what the Cameroonians will call tumbu tumbu boss calabar. But you see, if you don't have the right answer, you will not go to the next question. Now you see, what determines the value of our coin? We have here, it is based on the supply and demand of it as it is traded in the open public markets. No, that is not what determines the value of our coin. Because, first of all, our coin is not a coin in the public market. And that's exactly why if you go to the coin market cap, you will not see TBC. And it's not as if you will not see it only today, you will not see it forever. On the coin market cap, TBC is out of the question. You will not see it there. And because it is not there, then what determines the value of that coin is not, they are not the factors, economic factors, they are not the factors of the market, the factors of demand and supply. The second option is, as living men and women, we are more valuable than gold, and they agree to add their value to the value of our coin. It appreciates in value as each new member joins the community. That's right. That is the answer to that question. You know that human persons are very valuable. That is the dynamics behind this currency we are talking about. The human person is very valuable. Valuable, in fact, is so valuable that we cannot, we cannot count, we cannot measure its value with something. And now we are saying that the the value of this coin is gotten from the value of the human persons behind the coin. Yes, the value of the human persons behind the coin. So when each new member adds, the value of the coin generally increases. For every new member we get, the value of the coin goes up. So if today we are 3 million, as I'm talking now, like when we checked, we are 3,300,145, for instance. By the time it gets to 146, the value of the coin increases. So we do not need to do anything else apart from widening the community, apart from opening up the doors and letting many more members come in. And that explains why we are saying that the more members come in, the more the value of the coin goes up. So that when there will be up to 1 billion people in this community, then we shall have the value of the coin up to that. Now, let's look at the second question. The second question. The second question here is very clear. Are you allowed to transact with your coin at any price of your choosing? Can you trade with your coin? Can you transact your coin at any price? Can you sell it anyhow? The first option is no. The next one is yes. Let's begin with yes. Yes, you purchase the coin and it's your property to use it as you wish at whatever price you want. That is exactly what this coin is not. True, you have purchased the coin. True, it is your property, but you cannot use it the way you want, because the moment you join the TBC community, you become part of the community. The moment you buy your coins, the coin is no longer yours as an individual. The coin is the community. So the community determines how you trade with it. The community determines how you carry out transactions with the coin. That is exactly what the community does. That is exactly what the coin is all about. So you cannot say that you can transact with your coin anyhow. You do anyhow with your coin. You sell it at whatever price. Maybe they are selling the coins at the price of $100, for instance. You decide to sell your own at 50. Say, after all, is it not mine? No, no, no. It does not work that way. When we shall be talking about the agreement, TBC agreement, you get to know that. So therefore, the answer here is no. Our coin is part of a private community. That's what I was saying. And you have to conduct all transactions at the published current price only. Yes, you use just the published current price. That is exactly what we use. Question 3. Let's get to the third question here. Say, are refunds available if these coins become illegal within the country of the purchaser? Okay, we are talking about the TBC, the billion coin, and then we are saying that if, as we are beginning to use it, there are shops opening left, right, center. I got hints today of another supermarket in Mombasa which accepts TBC. They use it for shopping. I checked on the TBC website for Kenya. They have membership cards. I'll be coming up with that next week. Next week we shall have that for our broadcast somewhere around there, because I would like to visit the place myself and see how it operates. But basically, if at all we begin using this here in Cameroon, they are using. 2 days ago, I succeeded to get Faruna in Nigeria, Abuja, online. 2 days ago, I got Faruna, and and um, and uh, and and I got Faruna online 2 days ago, and we're talking about. I saw his shop. He showed me his shop online and all that. So, if by any chance, for example, in Nigeria, Faruna is in Nigeria, and the coin is banned, it becomes illegal, or maybe by any chance in Kenya, wherever, do you have opportunity of getting refunds? Please, for starters, know this. No, there is no opportunity of getting refunds. Nobody is going to refund you. Listen, you say, yes, you can expect both the admin of TBC and the member that to refund all of the money you spent on buying the coins. No, we do not operate that way. Our answer is no. It is the buyer's responsibility to know the laws of their own country. and 100% of the risk of purchasing something that later becomes unlawful is upon the buyer only. Yes, know the laws of your country, know what is acceptable, and then if it becomes illegal, it is your responsibility. Do not share the blame on TBC because TBC does not make the coin illegal in your country. So please get this very clear. Get this very clear. But as far as I know, so far there is no official ban on cryptocurrencies anywhere around where we are in Africa. True, there are threats from banks, threats from the elite class, and they are struggling to convince governments to legislate on that. Some time ago, about 3-4 months ago, it had a problem in Korea, in South Korea. It was banned. I remember I was in a Zoom meeting in one company, and they were saying that they are moving the company from South Korea to Thailand, to Bangkok, Thailand, because there it is not banned. But as far as we are concerned, around us, there are no bans. It is not banned anywhere. And because it is not banned anywhere, we can go ahead with our operations. We can go ahead getting these things accordingly. Then we go to the next question. The next question is this now. Is it wise to challenge the powers that be by belonging to a private community that has chosen to go its own way towards the ideal of abundance? Is it right wise to challenge the powers that be? This is now we're talking here about the possibility of having challenges with the elite class. Remember, like we said before, the elite class is a big challenge to the community. And so this question, follow the question very, very well and see the answer we are going to give to it, because the answer determines the disposition you have within the community. It is asking, is it wise to challenge the powers that be? Is it wise to challenge the powers that be? One of the answers there is no. You see, no. We should just go along with the current system and everything will be fine for all of us. That is a wrong answer. That is a wrong answer. As leaders, as managers, as leaders, we are told that a leader is one who challenges the status quo. It's not that as it was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be. No. Leaders do not operate that way. In TBC, we are all meant to be leaders, and so we need to challenge this elite class. This elite class need to be challenged. And that's exactly why the right answer here is yes. The only hope humanity has comes from spreading truth and righteousness in spite of the evil nature of the world at large. So, because we know that in our community we have something that is going to be beneficial to the society, we need to challenge so that we realize the plan of God, of which is all about bringing um, bringing the people together, bridging the gap which exists between classes of people. Question 5. Is it really possible to end poverty all over the earth? This question is very tricky. First thing that comes to mind is for starters, it will be easier to think that no, to say that it is not possible. You know, they keep referring very frequently to the fact that the rich will grow richer, the poor will remain poorer. But the answer to this is not therefore this. No, only a foolish person will believe that ending poverty is possible. That is a very wrong answer. We are living in the world of possibilities. It is not the plight of, it's not the mind of God to that people that we should be poor. If man is poor, it is because of the greed of fellow man. And that's exactly why it is St. Thomas Aquinas who says in one of his writings that whatever the wealthy, the rich, the possession which they have, which they are keeping, which is in their keeping, the excesses which they have, they should not forget the fact that those excesses are basically the possession of the poor. So they have robbed the poor to have those excesses. So it is possible to do that, and therefore the answer here is yes. While the plan is too simple, clearly the sheer scope of the numbers involved in this plan to end poverty globally makes it more than possible. So that is the right answer. Now we come to the sixth answer. Can we do something about not starving to death as robots take over all of our jobs? Yes. You remember, so many years ago, it was the age of the Industrial Revolution when that is exactly when there was this scramble for Africa, industrial revolution, and all that. People were taken but to work in industries over there and all that. Uh, Now we have passed that stage. The industries are still there, yes, but mechanization now is becoming too powerful. Everything is becoming that which is reserved for the machines. There are robots these days which are in charge of lifting up things in companies. There are robots which all sorts of things are being done by robots. And now, if the world goes the way it is going with robots doing all these, what becomes of the dignity of the human labor? Human labor. God Himself is a worker. He made us workers so that we may earn from the work of our hands. Because in working, we implant ourselves in the society, we leave something of us. So, what becomes of us with all these robots? Can we do something? Yes, we can. That is the answer. Yes, we can do something because TBC is the correct answer because it is better that a money system is driven by the people instead of the elite, and the community embraces the truth about abundance. About abundance. Question 7. Question 7 is a true or false question. Is it isn't it vital to my success within the TBC community to personally know the identity of TBC admin? Exactly. We may ask. Now we're talking about, so who is this admin we're talking about? Eh? How can I get into something I don't know that admin? No, with TBC, that it does not work that way. Admin gives us information in the blog, admin builds up the system, admin sets us to work, but he is anonymous. We do not need to know the admin. Knowing the admin will not add any new thing in to our, will not add any new thing, will not add any value to our account. So the answer here is therefore false. Isn't it vital? It is not vital. Well, if you know your sponsor, you know the various members of the TBC community, that suffices. That is the answer to question 7. Now, question 8 is a yes or no question. Isn't greed a good motivator for those of us in TBC to build a life of true abundance? Greed has never been a good motivator anyway. Greed has always been a vice. So it is not in TBC that greed will become a virtue. Because, in fact, greed is a word we don't want to hear in this community. We don't want to hear greed in this community because the distinction between the classes of people which exist in the world is as a result of man's greed. It's as a result of man's greed. And so TBC is coming to do away with that greed. TBC is coming to destroy that greed. And it is when this greed is eliminated from the society of man that we become one community, and then we bridge this gap between the excessively rich and excessive poor, which disturbs us, which makes us inconvenienced, which makes us ashamed, which make it low self-esteem and all that, and so excessive high self-esteem, all those things as a result of greed. In the TBC community, there is no greed, so it is not good. So, and what we mean by it is not, there is no greed. A community C.P. Vaki in his book Be Human, Behold, finds of some as somebody who, like a beggar, who is given bread and then goes back to tell the other where bread has been gotten. That is what happens with TBC. So when you stumble on TBC, reach out immediately for it is not for you alone. Reach out for the others. Question number 9. This is the last but one question. Isn't my choice too small to make a difference in the overall success of TBC? Yes, you are the only one. You are only one person. How could what you say matter at all? No, we need you to find your voice, to stand freedom. Yes. The answer to this question is no. Insofar as we are a community, every individual in that community counts. Every individual counts. So our answer here is no. Your choice, your voice counts. You can see you answered question 9 correctly. You see, the system is even thanking me for answering the question well. And so the last question, it shouldn't matter if I choose to express a negative opinion in a public forum, I have a right to do so. Correct? That is completely incorrect. TBC does not make us brigands, does not make us unruly. TBC, like I said, bridges the gap between the rich and the poor, makes us into a veritable community, takes away vices, and grows the virtues in us. So that also is good. So you see here, congratulations, congratulations. You have completed the test, and please allow up to 24 hours for us to verify the information and turn on. Once you fill these questions, after 24 hours, within 24 hours, in that time, your send button comes on. At that time, the send button of your wallet is open and you can be able to reach out to others. Remember, we answered in one of the questions that greed is out of the question. So that is exactly what the analysis we have been able to make from the send button test. Now we go to the TBC agreement. If we are beginning, we must understand what we are getting into. So we get into um, the agreement. I share with you the blog post here, my page of the blog. Admin wrote a long while ago, but it is still very important. You see, the agreement makes all of this possible. How is all of this possible? It is possible thanks to the agreement. And I'll share this with you. Um, Basically, you see the reasons why TBC is called the billion coin is because the ultimate price marked out at 1 billion euros per TBC coin. That means even just one TBC coin could become a billionaire someday. The current price of TBC is a long way, 1 billion euro, and it may seem to some impossible. Say, but is that possible? How can that be possible? So the only thing that is going to make that possible is the agreement. So we have here, you see here, we will get there ultimately, and it's because of the membership. So here is the agreement. You can see for yourself. All members of the Billion Coin community agree that this coin will never go down in value. That is our agreement. It will never go down in value. It can only go up in price. The agreement is hinged on a software program that drives the price of TBC up by 1% to 5% daily until it reaches a price. Within these few words of the agreement, it does carry a lot of meaning. That is the agreement. It does carry a lot of meaning. people of artificial scarcity ruling their lives, which was covered briefly in another article of this blog, of course. Abundance and prosperity are very natural things within the universe. And powerful people have been leading the people in mass to believe in the deception called scarcity. Scarcity is only a deception. So when people allowed crypto, TBC, to propel them into wealth with a software formula, they are making an agreement. That is our agreement. That is what drives us. That is exactly what drives us. So, to wrap up what we are saying here today, um, we would like to indicate that apart from this agreement, there is need for alignment. When there is an agreement, there is need for alignment. You can see from our outline here. Alignment. What is the meaning of alignment? Alignment is all about the fact that we stay within the dynamics of the system. If I stay within the dynamics of the system, you stay within the dynamics of the system, you will see for yourself that we shall walk well, all shall be well, and we will be able to build that community, a community in which there will be no difference between people, a community where we shall all be one. No matter your status, no matter who you are, we'll be able to build that community. So let us follow the system, and that is what alignment is all about. Finally, we give the final update, and the final update is we look forward to the big meeting which is coming up on the 8th, on the 30th of September, 2018. This meeting shall take place in Douala in Cameroon. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for being there. We shall be with you subsequently in the subsequent broadcasts tomorrow or the days ahead. Thank you. God bless you.